2 Kings 8. The woman from Shunem gets her land back. Elisha had brought a woman's son back to life. He had said to her, "Go away with your family. Stay for a while anywhere you can. The Lord has decided that there won't be enough food for the land. That will be true for 7 years." The woman did just as the man of God had told her. She and her family went away. They stayed in the land of the Philistines for 7 years. The 7 years passed. Then she came back from the land of the Philistines. She went to the king of Israel. She wanted to beg him to get her house and land back. The king was talking to Gehazi. Gehazi was a servant of the man of God. The king had said, "Tell me something about the great things Elisha has done." Gehazi was telling the king how Elisha had brought a dead boy back to life. Just then the woman came to beg the king to get her house and land back. She was the woman whose son Elisha had been brought back to life. Gehazi said, "King Joram, this is the woman I've been telling you about, and this is her son. He's the one Elisha brought back to life." The king asked the woman about her house and land, and she told him. Then he appointed an official to look into her case. The king told him, "Give her back everything that belonged to her. That includes all of the money that was earned from her land. It was earned from the day she left the country until now." Hazael murders Ben-Hadad. Elisha went to Damascus. Ben-Hadad was sick. He was the king of Aram. The king was told, "The man of God has come all the way up here." Then the king said to Hazael, "Take a gift with you. Go and see the man of God. Ask him for the Lord's advice. Ask him whether I will get well again." Hazael went to see Elisha. He took 40 camels with him as a gift. The camels were loaded with all the finest goods of Damascus. Hazael went into Elisha's house and stood in front of him. He said, "Ben-Hadad has sent me. He is the king of Aram. He asks, 'Will I get well again?'" Elisha answered him, "Go and speak to him. Tell him, 'Yes, you will get well again.' But the Lord has shown me that he will in fact die." Elisha stared at him without looking away. He did it until Hazael felt ashamed. Then the man of God began to sob. "Why are you sobbing?" asked Hazael. "Because I know how much harm you will do to the people of Israel," he answered. "You will set fire to their cities that have high walls around them. You will kill their young men with your sword. You will smash their little children on the ground. You will rip open their pregnant women." Hazael said, "How could I possibly do a thing like that? I'm nothing but a dog. I don't have that kind of power." "You will become king of Aram," Elisha said. "That's what the Lord has shown me." Then Hazael left Elisha. He returned to his master Ben-Hadad. Ben-Hadad asked, "What did Elisha say to you?" Hazael replied, "He told me you would get well again." But the next day Hazael got a thick cloth. He soaked it in water. He spread it over the king's face. He held it there until the king died. Then Hazael became the next king after him. Jehoram becomes king of Judah. Jehoram began to rule as king over Judah. It was in the 5th year that Joram was king of Israel. Joram was the son of Ahab. Jehoram was the son of Jehoshaphat. Jehoram was 32 years old when he became king. He ruled in Jerusalem for 8 years. He followed the ways of the kings of Israel, just as the royal family of Ahab had done. In fact, he got married to a daughter of Ahab. Jehoram did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. But the Lord didn't want to destroy Judah. That's because the Lord had made a covenant with his servant David. He had promised to keep the lamp of David's kingdom burning brightly for him and his children after him forever. When Jehoram was king over Judah, Edom refused to remain under Judah's control. They set up their own king. So Jehoram went to Zair. He took all of his chariots with him. The men of Edom surrounded him and his chariot commanders. He got up at night and fought his way out, but his army ran back home. To this very day, Edom has refused to remain under Judah's control. At that same time, Libnah also refused to remain under the control of Judah. The other events of Jehoram's rule are written down. Everything he did is written down. All of these things are written in the official records of the kings of Judah. Jehoram joined the members of his family who had already died. His body was buried in the family tomb in the city of David. His son Ahaziah became the next king after him. Ahaziah became king of Judah. Ahaziah began to rule as king over Judah. It was in the 12th year that Joram was king of Israel. Joram was the son of Ahab. Ahaziah was the son of Jehoram. Ahaziah was 22 years old when he became king. He ruled in Jerusalem for 1 year. His mother's name was Athaliah. She was a granddaughter of Omri. Omri had been the king of Israel. Ahaziah followed the ways of the royal family of Ahab. Ahaziah did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, just as the family of Ahab had done. That's because he married into Ahab's family. Ahaziah joined forces with Joram. They went to war against Hazael at Ramoth Gilead. Joram was the son of Ahab. Hazael was the king of Aram. The soldiers of Aram wounded King Joram, so he returned to Jezreel to give his wounds time to heal. The soldiers of Aram had wounded him at Ramoth in his battle against Hazael, the king of Aram. Ahaziah, the son of Jehoram, went down to Jezreel. He went there to see Joram. That's because Joram had been wounded. Ahaziah was king of Judah. Joram was the son of Ahab.